break.
That was kind.
No, I love my husband, but you know, absence makes the heart
6 to
go
7
fonder.
months? That's a long break.
Absence makes the heart go fonder. Go ahead.
It does. But we have a corner of the garage that I have sectioned off with panels I bought from Amazon, and that's like Tommy's gym, and he's not allowed to go in there or just penetrate the walls at all. So I'm also an only child, so I really like my own space.
Well, if you touch the garage, we're done. We're done.
She's giving me some ideas.
No, we're done. You have the rest. I got one area in the house and the garage. Garage, that's encroachment.
Okay.
Right.
Go ahead.
See,
I gotta have one area.
Yeah, that's what my husband says as well. And I said, you can have all the areas, just keep them clean. I'm very OCD and I'm very tidy, and that's my biggest thing. My husband's gone 6 to 7 months a year. It doesn't mean I don't see him that many months. He's just not at the house in Nashville. So then when he comes home for what I call the on season, I call the off season when he's gone and the on season when he's home. It's actually flipped because the baseball season would be the baseball season. But when he comes home, I have to relearn how to live with somebody. And, you know, you go from living by yourself for 6 to 7 months and then somebody's there. And then it's like, I have to relearn.
Is your husband a talker in the morning? Like, what's his energy?
Yeah, he's a talker pretty much all the time. But we're both talkers.
Okay.
But for me, I'm just very tidy and he's just not.
Yeah.
You know, it takes a lot of effort for him to be tidy or to pick up after himself. And so for me, like, relearning how to live with a man that is probably my biggest struggle.
What other beauty and wellness things do you do? Because you're beautiful. Like, talk to us about the hair, the makeup, the eyelashes, the skincare. Like, what are all the little things?
So I do my own hair and makeup.
Okay.
I never let anybody do it for me.
Even when you go on air?
No, I always do it. Because I'm in Nashville, I don't have anybody. And in New York, it's just like, once you just get used to your own face, you just don't let anybody else touch it. I've been done dirty a few times. So no, I always do my own hair and makeup. So that's probably my biggest routine is just getting ready, doing my own hair and makeup. As far as, I mean, what do you want to know?
Skincare?
Skincare. First of all, I love your whole routine and your whole aesthetic.
We're getting you the ice roller, the pink balls, the balls on your face, the dry brush.
I need to have the patience to do all those things. Because I'm pretty much just your standard, like, wash your face, moisturize, retinol, all good things. But I don't have the patience to do all the different steps.
If I was on the news, the main tool that I would use every day is the ice roller, and I'll tell you why. Sometimes you probably have to get up early, right?
Very.
Okay. When I put makeup on my skin before 6 a.m., it's like putting makeup on a pig if I have not ice rolled. For me, I'm not talking about you.
No, I agree.
For me, the ice roller, for especially what you do, I feel like you'll like love it. Because it's just going to tighten and create like you know how you're puffy? I'm puffy in the morning.
Yeah.
Especially if I've had a glass of wine. Forget it. So you want that ice.
Okay.
I feel like
I need to do that.
Yeah, it's like a news announcer's dream to have ice.
I'm going to bring it to Fox News.
I mean, you don't look like a puffy person, though. I get puffy.
I'd be puffy in the morning. I mean, I just got off about a 4-hour flight. So the fact that it's still holding together, because I did my makeup at 5 a.m. this morning.
Oh,
so
did you come from Nashville today?
Yes.
Oh, wow. That's kind of a long flight.
It is. It's about a 4-hour flight. Yeah. So that's a good tip, though. And I know the benefits. It's just taking the time, and the dry brushing seems great. Taking the time to do it.
Do you spray tan?
I like foam tan. So since I was 15 years old, I started doing the bed tanning. And I finally quit about 2 years ago. I decided I was getting too many freckles. And so I had to stop just cold turkey on the bed tanning, which I used to do at least once a week from age 15 to age 29.
It's going to change your life. Even though you stopped 2 years ago, not tanning in the tanning bed will change your life. I'm a big believer in that.
Yeah, no, I wish I wouldn't have done it all those years. But South Dakota, we just don't get a lot of sun, you know, and I'm pretty white. So
but you do this. You said
I just
you
do like
a
foam tan. Yeah, I just do like my self tanner. I don't like a spray tan, and here's why: because I don't like it slowly disintegrating. And when you're on TV, you can't have like the middle phase of when the spray tan starts patching off. When you foam tan, it goes off gradually. It doesn't last as long, but it'll dissipate gradually. To me, spray tans have always come off in chunks. And then how do you do that when you're on TV every day?
I knew that you would have like some tip, because when you're on TV and you see yourself in high definition, that's got to be intense. No matter, I mean, I see myself on Instagram this close and I'm like, back it up, back up. The tan thing you totally have to be careful of.
Yes.
If you dry brush the tan off, I think that you would like that before you tan.
Okay.
That's what I want to give you.
Okay.
Sorry, Michael. I just had to get her.
I'm
I gotta
keeping up on a
now.
hairstring here.
Okay, and what we have to talk about diet.
Okay.
Diet. What do you do?
So I try to eat pretty clean through most of the week, like very, very clean as I possibly can. And then I've cut down. So when I first moved to Nashville, 2020, right? Everybody was having a great time in Nashville. If you're in LA, probably not. But in Nashville, we had a great time. So I would go and we partied in Nashville during COVID. Like we shut down, but not really, right? We had a curfew at 10.
We were in Texas. It was like same thing. It was weird because we were like, I would see this world and then that world. I'm like, wow, there's like 2 different worlds going on.
Yes. So here people just drank at home, but in Texas and Nashville, people went out and like lived life,
yeah,
which was wonderful.
Did Texas ever shut down?
Texas definitely shut down because all my friends are in Dallas. So you definitely shut down, but it was not compared to this. I mean, LA.
It was really shut down.
I left LA in 2020.
We left in the end of 2020, but we were like here during most of it. Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm sorry about that. Yeah. I left right at the start. I saw the writing on the wall. It started shutting down, and I said, it's time to go. So I got out of here. But I don't drink really at all anymore. So I think a lot of people are into that now, like the sober, curious thing. I will drink a glass of wine, but I've really cut down on my drinking. It's probably because my husband's gone, and who else am I going to drink with, right? I don't really go out and drink much. I pretty much stay at home with the dogs.
Where did you meet your husband? You mentioned that you had dated guys before your husband. What was that like, and where did you meet him, and how'd you know he was the one?
I met him on Instagram, where all good relationships begin.
Huh.
I met pretty much everybody I've dated on Instagram, if I were to be honest.
Like they'll slide in your DMs?
Mm-hmm.
There's hope out there for all the guys.
How do you know though that they're like how do you gauge it?
Because some of them got a blue check mark. So that's my first whittling it down of.
Okay.
But now everybody's got the check mark.
Yeah, well, this is before you could buy it. This is when you had to earn a check mark,
Okay, so he comes in your DMs.
Yeah.
And
just the general is like, love what you stand for, So then it's like, all right, that's like I told you before. You already know somebody doesn't hate your politics. That's a good start. So then he was in Nashville, and we just met up, and he lived in Miami at the time and was broadcasting for, at that time, Bally Sports for the Marlins because he's a former baseball player. And then I said, in a year, you'll live in Nashville. And then 9 months later, he lived in Nashville. So
you guys liked each other right away quick.
Yeah.
And the other boyfriends that you met were same on Instagram. You met him on Instagram.
Yeah, pretty much.
This is a good tip, though, for people who are on the apps that maybe don't want to be on certain apps. You can just have someone slide in on Instagram.
But for me, you have to understand what the dating pool would be like for me. So you've got somebody that's talking about myself. I'm a public figure who has a certain level of fame, but I'm not famous, but I'm known, but I'm also controversial. So I've dated celebrities in the past that didn't want people to know that we were together because there would be a substantial amount of backlash.
What would their names rhyme with?
There'd be a lot of them that I won't.
What's it like dating like a real celebrity? Like I've heard that it's like it's not.
Lauren, don't you know?
No, I mean like I've heard that it's not all it's chalked up to be. If you know what I mean.
I'll use the term dating lightly. I've had things with celebrities. I had a boyfriend that's like a secret boyfriend. But when I moved to Nashville, like I had a good time.
Is that a discussion that takes place where it's like, hey, we got to keep this on the down low because
no, I would already offer that up because I would never want to put somebody. I'm never like, hey, take a picture with me or whatever. I'm like a private person. I don't need to do that, whatever. But it would be more of a consideration. 2020 was also a rough year, right? So that was a controversial year.
Yeah, it was. Sensitivities were flying high. Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, the fact that someone would hide who they're dating because of politics to me, I don't understand. And Michael always says, you have to put yourself in other people's shoes, like I said earlier.
I don't say you have to put yourself in other people's shoes, but what I say is that to me, it's always shocking that it's shocking to you that people would think, you know what I mean?
Me.
I always find it shocking that you can't believe certain people would believe things like that.
I just can't believe that someone is scared to say who they're dating because of someone's political beliefs. I can't believe it.
No, the difference between Lauren and I is I am very self-aware about how certain people think of me, and I know I'm like, it ain't good. It's not going to go well.
Well, you and me both.
And I'm like that, and that's okay. Lauren is like, I can't